And we're back. Sorry for not streaming for a couple of days, but all of a sudden I ran out of internet. I ran out of data. I called my internet support guys and said, what's the deal? I received an email saying that I would get more, or that my subscription would renew in 4 days. But I told them I can't wait that long. Can you do something? But nah, they couldn't. So I had to wait. I did change internet in the meantime, but I ended up having to wait all the same for the new modem to arrive. But now I have more internet, so my chances of running out from now on should be highly unlikely. But glad to be back. So let's continue on from where we left last time. We were in the shack, collecting resources for the raft. Beating up our friends in the process, and I asked around on a couple forums, Kingdom Hearts forums that I am a member of on Facebook, and asked, am I going insane here, or is there a way to battle all 4 kids on the island at the same time? Titus, Selfie, Waka, and our boy Riku. And there were conflicting answers, but I think most were in agreement that it wasn't possible. I mean, there was one person who swore to God that it was possible in the original PS2 version, and again, I'm not saying that it is that it ever was possible, but it was just this thought. I also discussed it in the last part. It's just this, I just had this notion all of a sudden, like, some kind of Mandela effect, like, was it ever possible? One of those rumors or whatnot that would have been fun to spread around on the playground, like, hey, did you hear that you can fight all 4 kids at the same time on the island? Kind of like the unicorn fountain in Zelda, or Mew under the truck in Pokemon Red, that kind of stuff. I love those kind of rumors, by the way. I mean, I'm the kind of person where even, again, I'm horrible at talking and playing at the same time, so you'll have to excuse me, I'm just running around in circles for a bit. I love those kinds of rumors, and even though data miners are like, they comb the game front to back and are like, well, there's nothing in the files to prove that it ever existed. But I'm regardless of this, kind of like do ghosts exist or not, I'm like, I know it has been proven, but I don't want to believe it. I still want to retain the hope that maybe there is. Oh, okay. Well, enough of that. Some said that you have to beat each of the kids a couple more times, and you have to beat them again. On the second day, I only beat them once each, and no, I'm not gonna spend the next hour just beating them over and over to try and get to the bottom of this mystery. But I am gonna beat them a couple more times. I mean, I'm not gonna bore you guys with doing it over and over, but
show me your stuff.
It's been a while, so let's start the part off with a bout. Come on. Got your nose. Ah.
Come on.
I just played Kingdom Hearts trying to beat the data.
That really hurt.
The data organization, and because I come straight from that game, I was instinctively trying to dodge roll with Square, but this is Kingdom Hearts 1. This is starting from Square, no pun intended. So we are totally naked.
Okay, don't hold back. You ready?
Ah.
You ready?
I love that you are able to make her spin around like that. I'm spinning around.
You ready? Oh, I can't believe I lost.
I mean, some people were even like, well, I had an old save file where I fought against all the kids until Sora was over level 25, and I'm like, at that point, you are pretty credible if you say that it's not. I know they're just fighting for fun and practice, but still, this is pretty harsh, you know, just beating your friends over the head with with wooden swords. I mean, normally in the real world you would be like, you know, just hitting each other's swords, but like not in the face. But here, I mean, they're going all out. They're going.
Let's get it.
You ready?
Would you mind staying out of the way, Titus? Not until you say my name correctly! Ah.
Come on.
At position.
You ready?
Bring it on.
I know it's hard to block that combo, but I've been told that it is possible. Ah!
Hey, you guys. I think we overdid it.
Fuck you! Hey, I want a rematch.
Let's get it.
You ready?
Why can't I hit her?
Come on.
Did I seriously beat Titus without even thinking about it? I mean, oh fuck! It is possible to get Waka. It is possible to throw Waka's super strike back with a. I was about to say a jump cut, you know, a jump slash, but I ain't confident enough for that. Ooh! Alright, I forgot. Ooh, I did it! Yes!
I can't believe we lost.
And I'm gonna take a moment now to readjust the camera, because I completely forgot that when it is where it is now, I can't see what's happening when I level up. I believe that the last time I put it up in the top right corner, but when I look at myself in the camera, it's. I mean, I could always just place it somewhere else, but it's weird to me that on the camera it looks like I'm looking away from the game. It completely throws me off. So normally I don't put the camera on the sides, you know. I always put it in one of the corners, but you know, alongside the command menu and stuff like that, and level up is up there. I think it makes the most sense to put it where it is now. So I'm gonna try to make a mental note of that, and I'm just completely screwing around now. You three against me. I'm kind of busy now. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm not gonna waste you guys' time with more of that. Keep fighting all of them. One last time I'm gonna go see what Riku has to say. I mean, we can fight him one last time as well.
Still don't got it. Come on. Still don't got it. Don't tell me you're giving up already.
Again, pretty brutal to just hit your best friend in the head with a wooden sword.
Come on.
Oh.
You still don't got it. Come on. Come on. You still don't got it. Don't Don't tell me you're giving up. Come on!
And yes, I'm only hitting him once or twice per time because I know he's gonna do that that stupid ass comeback counter attack.
What are you afraid of? Don't tell me you're giving up on...
Ah, stupid tree.
Come on!
There we go. Now the score's 2-1. If it is possible, again going with the whole rumor about the 4 kids stuff, then I'm gonna do it on my own time. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that anymore. Already wasted 16 minutes of your time, so onwards with the story. Well, that's everything. Great, Sora. Tired? Wanna call it a day? Yeah, let's go home. Okay. It is getting late. We'll finish up tomorrow.
So, Kyrie's home is out there somewhere, right?
Could be. We'll never know by staying here.
But how far could a raft take us?
Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else.
So, suppose you get to another world. What would you do there?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. It's just, I've always wondered why we're here, on this island. If there are any other worlds out there. Why did we end up on this one? And suppose there are other worlds. Then ours is just a little piece of something much greater. So, we could have just as easily ended up somewhere else, right?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Jesus, Sora.
That's why we need to go out there and find out. Just sitting here won't change a thing. It's the same old stuff. So let's go.
You've been thinking a lot lately, haven't you?
Thanks to you. If you hadn't come here, I probably would have never thought of any of this. Kyrie, thanks.
You're welcome.
That's one thing, and I know it's a nitpick. Oh, cutscene not over yet.
Sora! You wanted one, didn't you?
A Palpu fruit?
If 2 people share one, their destinies become intertwined. They'll remain a part of each other's lives, no matter what. Come on, I know you want to try it.
What are you talking?
Ah, young love. Ricky, you dick. Let's Play I once saw made fun of this whole 2 young boys underage and an underage girl and I was like, guys, you do know that you can be in love at that age without any sexual stuff going on, right? But the internet seems to forget about that. Enter Donald Duck. When my brother first introduced me to this game, he had a laugh and a half about that small door. And spoiler alert, we can't go here. Even though promotional material and the rumors and stuff like that had the screenshots that made it look like Sora could actually visit this world. I mean, that that was also a hoax for the longest time. Like, can Sora actually get to Disney Castle in the first game? Is there a secret way or something? But to my knowledge, there ain't.
This is serious.
It is a fully featured world in the second game, though.
Hey there, Donald. Good morning.
Got a problem, Goofy. But don't tell anyone.
Oh, Queen Minnie?
Not even the Queen.
Daisy?
No! It's top secret.
Oh, good morning, ladies.
What?
What? Love Donald's laugh. So Donald and Goofy are on some kind of mission, and we just arrived back on the island. No, but that's one tiny nitpick I have, and I don't remember if it was a thing in the second game, but in the third game, where animation and the power of the console has been is much greater. In the first game, if you notice, every time there is a cutscene, there are some times where their face is just a flat texture with the eyes blinking and the mouths flapping, and then there are some shots where their faces are fully animated, and it kinda distracts me because I can't help sitting there and trying to pay attention to what face will show up when. I mean, it's clearly because the PS2 wasn't strong enough to have them fully animated all the time. But obviously, for the cutscenes, they wanted the faces to be fully animated whenever they wanted the characters to express a certain emotion that they couldn't just shove to the side with a blank face. So important scenes or moments are shot with the fully animated one. Hello there, Stealthy.
Sora, have you heard about the legendary power of the Palpoo fruit? They say if you share it with someone you really care for, it binds you together forever and ever, through eternity. It's so romantic. Try it sometime.
I wonder if Selfie was this big of a romantic in Final Fantasy VIII as well. What's the matter, Sora? Something on your mind? Last time I played this game, I didn't really, try to fight the kids on the second day. Again, I'm not saying that the rumor is true, I'm just saying maybe something will happen. I mean, it's been so long since I last even beat this game, I say, despite it being my favorite game. But again, a favorite game doesn't need to be a game that you play non-stop. Sometimes it's something sentimental, like I've told you I'll talk about my history with the game later. But sometimes it doesn't need to be, I beat this game 100 times a year, and also sometimes it's great that you have a game that you play it so rarely that when you do get back to it, you have forgotten some things, and then it feels like almost like it's your first time playing it again. But yeah, let's go around. Okay, but no whining when I beat you.
Okay, don't hold back.
Just beat it.
Yeah!
I can't really get used to the camera's new position, but
You got lucky.
You got lucky. You're helping Kyrie with something, right? What are you guys up to? But again, gameplay-wise, with the menus and the pop-ups and stuff like that, it makes more sense this way. If you don't share a power pool with Kyrie soon, Riku might beat you to it. Aw, she knows. She totally knows. Have you heard about the power of the power pool fruit? Two people share the power pool fruit, their destinies become intertwined. Isn't that romantic? Power pool fruit is precious, so don't pick it unless you're gonna share it. Yeah, Riku. I mean, it was Sora who threw it away, but Riku picked it. I wonder who I should share power pool with. Again, some people might be, dude, you're 14, relax, but again, it is this age where you start, and actually even earlier, it is this time in your life where you start to think about, love and boys or girls, depending on your own gender. It is that time of your life where you start to think about these things. Again, maybe not in a sexual way, but you do. Even earlier in your life, you start thinking about these things. But again, every time something like this is brought up on the internet, it's like, oh, it's a minor. So yeah, it's a very touchy subject for many. Riku's always staring out to see these days. Sometimes even shouting won't get his attention. If I can just make her say. I'm gonna say yeah this time. No. What did I say last time? I did say what's that, didn't I? Me? Well, I think I can do better than Titus or Waka. Regarding what? Oh well, smell you later. I mean, even though, very, very little kids, they obviously don't know. I mean, love is many things, and of course, little kids have, they love their parents and stuff like that. But romantic love, of course, at an early age, I'm talking 4, 5, 6 years. They obviously don't know what this kind of what romantic love is. But even still, kids mimic what us adults do. So I kid you not, I was working at a kindergarten not long ago where this little boy and girl, they were 4 or 5 years old. They were like, we are dating and we are totally gonna get married when we grow up. And I was like, relax. You haven't even started school yet. So just to give you an example that, again, even though at that age they obviously have no idea what they're even talking about, but still they do understand the concept to some extent.
Me and Titus,
enough of that.
We are gonna do a little exploring today. The secret place at the base of that tree. There's gotta be something there, yeah?
Yeah, I've already been there. There's gotta be something in there, yeah? Hey Sora, you could use some coaching, yeah? Now, want to learn a special technique? To hit a moving target, you gotta log on. Log on and you won't lose track of it. I kinda already learned that in my dream. You can move boulders if you push them hard enough. What kind of super kid are you? I'm a grown adult and I can't do that. Maybe I'm just not punching them hard enough. You know about the secret place, right? At the base of that tree? Who found that place anyway? Titus and I swam out really far last time. There was nothing inside but water. Water everywhere. Despite the fact that we have boats on this island and we later, spoiler alert, see that Sora actually has a, you know, he lives in a house, he has parents, or he has a mother at least, and he has a window from where he can actually see this island. So I don't know if maybe Waka means that they swam the other way and tried to see if there was something that way, but nothing as far as the eye can see. Well, that heavily depends on what direction you're going, buddy. Whatever you guys are up to, don't do anything stupid, yeah? Man, I'm hungry. Let's go home and eat some and get something to eat. Yeah, I think we have been up and down and all around. Wanna go around? Nah, I can't. Can't resist, that is.
Show me your stuff.
Bitch, please.
Come on!
Ah. Come on. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
You've been training a lot, yeah?
I didn't catch that, but sure. Did you see that? Hit it right back at him and won. Titus was over there. Is Kairi down there? No, she's not. Not today.
I think you've gotten stronger, but odds are you're still no match for Riku.
Bitch, I beat him
We took him on
twice.
3-1 last time. He whipped us all.
Well, so did
Well,
I.
I guess Kairi can always count on him.
Fuck you. I guess Kairi can always depend on him. You know, smartass, it's 2-1 with me and Riku right now. Let's start 1-on-1. I know I've already beaten them on the first day, and I said I wouldn't waste you guys' time with it anymore, but this is technically a new day, so it's new content. Hey, no problem. I can take you down myself.
You're going down.
You're going down just for that comment.
Come on! Come on!
What's up, Titus? Can't keep up?
Come on!
That's what I thought.
Oh man, what's up?
Let's get him!
Let's get him! Ah!
Come on! Bring it on!
That's one down. Ah! Ah!
Come on, fight!
Did I just hit Titus with Waka's ball? I'm getting a lot of checkpoints here. I know I should have done my research, but I'm not even really sure what checkpoints are. Are they just extra experience, or what do they add to? Come on, Waka. Fuck you. There we go.
Man, you're unreal.
You're unreal. You gave me that look. It's almost unreal. You three against me. Let's go. So what's the score now? Who cares? Again, not gonna bore you guys with experimenting and being here, staying here for like hours and hours, just beating them over and over just to see if I can actually get Riku out to play. Where even is he? Oh right, he's with Kairi right now, isn't he? Well, before we go there, Waka said something about the secret place, so let's go there for a brief moment and see if something is actually here now. I wonder where this door leads. No doorknob, no keyhole. What kind of door is this anyway? Just to make sure we have covered all bases, I'm gonna check to see if there's something up in the treehouse. Nah. A big fat nothing. Let's go see what the guys are up to. Riku, my man! Hey Sora, our raft still needs a name. Let's see, how about Highwind? What would you call it? I have no idea if our spoiler alert, our spaceship later is gonna be called, it has always been called Highwind in my case because I don't like the name Excalibur, so I always, just to piss Riku off, I always suggest the same name as him, calling it Highwind. Besides, why would you, high wind, it has something to do with flying, why would you call it a raft Excalibur? High sea, maybe? Nah. I'm gonna do as I always do and call it Highwind. Or should I call it Excalibur just to see if it actually changes something? You know, I'm gonna do that. Was it with an E or a U? Excalibur. I was so concentrated on for shits and giggles to pronounce the name in with a Japanese accent that I actually spelled it like that. Excalibur. That way. Excalibur, yes. Me? Well, Excalibur. Hey, how about the usual? Let's do it. You guys at it again? Alright, I'll be the judge. The usual rules apply. Take any route you want. First one to tag that tree and make it back here wins.
If I win, I'm captain. And if you win...
See,
I
his
get to
face
share a
is...
Palpu with Kyrie.
His face was animated and Riku's
Deal?
was not.
The winner gets to share a Palpu with Kyrie.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a
I
minute.
count.
And I know the optimal route here, so yeah, Riku, you go and do your thing. I'm gonna go the easy route. I say that, but because this is the first game where the controls weren't quite... I mean, the controls are a bit stiff, and were even back then. So this jumping section always makes me nervous because there are a million ways you can fuck up the timing. Okay, Riku made it to the same platform as me before I got off, but I should still be good on time. See, if we win, I mean, if Riku... Now the score is 3-1. And I still have no idea what the score even means because it's never being brought up again after we leave the island. Obtain Pretty Stone. Man, lighten up, it's just a name after all. See, he says the same if we lose. So nothing really changes there, but since we won against him, let's. I'm excited to see if that actually eventually changes the name of the ship we are gonna get. I'm sure Nomura has already touched on it in an interview, but I really would like to know what was his whole thought process behind. I mean, his pitch. I know what the pitch was for this game. You know, Final Fantasy crossed over with Disney, but what was how did the idea come about of 3 kids on an island dreaming of other worlds? I mean, the game being a crossover, maybe... I mean, I think I already answered my own question. Today we collect provisions for our trip. Let's see, Sora. You're looking for 1 seagull egg, 3 mushrooms, 2 coconuts, 3 fish. And fill this up with drinking water. But not from the ocean. Oh, come on, you don't like a little salt? Bring everything back here. If you need help, just ask. Help! Well, did you find everything? And again we can say it's all under control, I'm a little lost, or I'm totally clueless. Okay, here's a hint. Mushrooms grow in shady spots, right? To be honest, I don't even like them. I'm counting on you. Well, I love mushrooms, or you know, the ones you can eat, obviously. In Danish we call them champignon. Okay, here's a hint. Seagulls lay their eggs in cocoa palms. I'm counting on you. Okay, next hint. Coconuts are growing on trees all over the island. Ever tried coconut milk? It's tasty. I think I have. Remember, only the yellow ones are any good. Is that factually correct? I mean, I've never seen yellow coconuts. I'm counting on you. Okay, now we're back. And if we say totally clueless, You're hopeless. Okay, let me break it down for you. On the bridges near side are 3 trees, one thinner than the rest. Gulls seem to flock there, so check the area for a seagull egg. To get to the top of the fatter trees, climb the thin one and then jump. I'm counting on you. See, nothing against games that explicitly say, hey, do you want to read the tutorial? But I like games that incorporate the tutorial into the gameplay, like the starting section here, your time on Destiny Islands, that is obviously trying to teach you the basics, you know, platforming and all that stuff, making it a part of the story, you know. You're hopeless. Okay. Pound on the fat cocoa palms to shake coconuts loose. Only the yellow ones are edible. Excuse me. If you keep pounding and don't get any yellow ones, you should probably try a different tree. Anything else you can tell me? Mushrooms grow in the shade. Check dark areas. If there are any rocks in the way, just move them. Oh right, just move the rocks. Have you seen my spaghetti arms? Try looking around the base of the watchtower too. They might also be growing in the secret place. I'm counting on you. Okay, was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. Again, I have never checked, I've never read these dialogues on any other playthrough, because I'm always just like, you know, I quickly wanna collect all these things and get started with the game. So it's interesting to, you know, to stop up and explore these things. Check dialogue options that you never had before. We just got a mushroom. What are these rocks for anyway? I've always wondered that. Okay, so I know that hole there leads to the opposite side of the island, or does it? I mean, it does, but I don't quite remember where it drops you off. Seashore? Ah, right. It's just, I wasn't sure if before you got to the cove, if it dropped you off in a secret place that you needed to go. Okay, let's see what's up here. Just made it. I'm the master of platforming. Can't reach the watchtower. So nothing's up here, I'm disappointed. More mushroom. I would make a joke about being high, but hey, come on, they're kids. And we're just nonchalantly picking up this huge box. I mean, maybe there's nothing in it. We don't know. We don't know if there's actually anything in it to make it weigh more. Treasure. Protect chain. And again the camera is in the way. I really have to set up my capture software soon. Equipment. Protect chain. Slightly raises defense. I like how, you know, the adjectives in these games, like slightly raises defense, yes, by 1. And then in Kingdom Hearts 3, I have an item that says something like I forget the word, but it's something like this item super mega hugely increases your defense, and then it increases it by like 6. And again, I'm like, well, define what you mean. Like 6 isn't a lot. But then again, I spoke with someone once about you know, the Final Fantasy games and how well, that caught me off guard. Even though I kind of knew it would happen. We talked about how Final Fantasy is always about, you know, big numbers, like bosses that have millions of HP. And then she brought into perspective that if you had a game where like where the power scales are much smaller, and let's say the final boss only has 100 HP, but you only damage him 1 HP at a time, or something like that, then 100 is a lot. So it's all about perspective and how much you damage the boss, or how high your damage output is, I meant to say. Okay, there's the seagull egg. We're gonna climb up the thin one like Kyrie instructed, and okay, I had a bit of a time making that jump last time I played the game, but that's one seagull egg, and then it was the yellow coconuts, and I've already forgotten how many we needed. No, Sora, get down, boy. No, another one, and nope. Was it only 2 coconuts? I have honestly already forgotten. I'm a fake Kingdom Hearts fan. I think it was 2. And then she wanted fish, is that right? Yep. 3, I believe, was the magic number. 3 is the magic number. I can't believe I just made that reference. How many was that? Did I collect 2 at the same time before? Items, stock. Yeah, we have 3 fish. I collected 2 of them pretty much instantaneously after each other. And drinking water. I believe that was all. Das war alles. No. Not for Riku. Oh yeah, that's another thing I completely forgot to show off, so I hope it's not too late to do so. No, it isn't. Okay, so any sane person would say that she's just twitching her, she's just thumbling her fingers, but it's in fact supposed to look like she is, she is making one of those seashell lucky charms that the games are known for. That's iconic to the games, and this the way she stands and is pretending to make that wasn't in the original game. That's exclusive to the final mix version, because aside from adding new bosses and stuff like that, the final mix versions of the earlier Kingdom Hearts games were all about adding teeny tiny little details that added more to the lore because it was important to Nomura. So if we talk to her, I'm making a necklace of thalassa shells. In the old days, sailors always wore thalassa shells. They were supposed to ensure a safe voyage. See this? See, they have a model of it, so why couldn't they make it so that she's actually holding it? Oh well, again, nitpick. See this? It's a charm to help us find each other if we ever get separated. The three of us will always be together. Don't say that while you look at me that way. And now that we have done that cutscene, that Final Mix exclusive cutscene, we can talk to her again. Wow, you didn't slack off this time. Just kidding. Well, just kidding about what? Just kidding about the fact that you thought I was gonna slack off, or just kidding? Or are you just kidding with the alleged accusation? I'm thinking way too deep about this, I know. Let's see, what's still missing? One mushroom. I was missing something. Where is that damn last mushroom? She said something about dark places. There was one down there and one here. Oh right. Nope. I always think there is something in there. Doesn't it look like somewhere that would be a secret? Riku, my man, help me out here. What's that? Oh, the Pauper thing? It was just a joke. You should have seen your face. How about another lap around the course? No thanks. Are you upset or something? It was only a joke. Well, you know, Riku, I am very, very, very sensitive, and you hurt my feelings. Okay, dark places, she said. You know, I'm in a dark place right now. I mean, she could have meant a figure. Oh, I remember now. I know where it is. Time for story. No, I'm not. He's reminiscing. See, they were in love already back then. Oh, so cute. How cute. But it's wrong! 10 points if you understood that reference.
Well, who's there?
I've come to see the door to this world.
Huh?
This world has been connected.
Well, what are you talking about?
Tied to the darkness. Soon to be completely eclipsed.
Well, whoever you are, stop freaking me out like this. Huh? Well, where did you come from?
You do not yet know what lies beyond the door.
Love that voice.
So you're from another world.
There is so very much to learn. You understand so little.
Oh yeah? Well, you'll see. I'm gonna get out and learn what's out there.
A meaningless effort. One who knows nothing can understand.
And Haley Joel Osment is doing a bang-up job as Sora. It was his first voiceover work too, from what I recall. You do not yet know what lies beyond that door. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. And fun fact, when I played this game as a kid or young teenager, call it whatever you will, I don't know if it's because the original version just was darker. This HD version has obviously been, brightened, and the models have been touched up. And maybe it was also because of CRT TVs back then. I couldn't see that guy in the rope. So I thought Sora was just talking to a disembodied voice or something. And then, spoiler alert, when we see him later in the game, not gonna say when, I was like, who the hell are you? Am I supposed to know you? So, a stranger on the island who has seen other worlds, but is being incredibly cryptic about it. Then again, that's really just a perfect setup for the entire franchise. I mean, I love the story. I have my mixed feelings about Kingdom Hearts 3, and even more so Dream Drop Distance, for various reasons. But in general, I like how Kingdom Hearts is often being made fun of for being cryptic and very complex and philosophical and stuff like that, and I like that. Some people I follow elsewhere are like, oh come on, it's a story about Donald and Goofy following this boy with a giant key. Can't we just keep it simple and clean? And I'm like, no. Just because Donald and Goofy and other Disney characters are present, what's wrong with a story that goes deep into the human psyche and explores themes of existence and hearts? And no, I love that kind of stuff, which is also why shameless plug, my own books are heavily inspired by this franchise. And in comparison, the first game here, as you will see as we progress, the first game is very, very basic in its story, and nothing wrong with that, because that's what I love about this game. I love that this game in particular is very basic. A classic good versus evil story. But I also don't mind that future installments have, evolved the franchise. That was something else I wanted to say, now I've forgotten it. Yep, this should do. Thanks, Sora. Tired? Wanna call it a day? Yeah, let's go home. Okay, tomorrow's the big day. We should rest up.
Riku has changed.
What do you mean?
Well...
You okay?
Sora, let's take the raft and go. Just the two of us.
Huh?
Just kidding.
What's gotten into you? You're the one that's changed, Kairi.
Maybe. I was a little afraid at first. But now I'm ready. No matter where I go or what I see, I know I can always come back here. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I just can't wait. Once we set sail, it'll be great.
Hayden Panettiere. Sorry if I don't pronounce that name correctly. She's also doing a really good job as Kairi. Donald. Sorry to rush off without saying goodbye, but there's big trouble brewing. Not sure why, but the stars have been blinking out one by one, and that means disaster can't be far behind. I hate to leave you all, but I've gotta go check into it. There's someone with a key, the key to our survival, so I need you and Goofy to find him and stick with him. Got it? We need that key or we are doomed. Go to Traverse Town and find Lee, and he'll point you in the right direction. P.S. Would you apologize to Minnie for me? Thanks, pal. See, I didn't...
Oh dear! What could this mean?
It means we'll just have to trust the king.
I didn't make a Mickey accent because I wanted to keep it a secret who was writing the letter, but kinda already spoiled it.
We'll find the king and the key.
Thank you. Both of you.
Daisy, can you take care of them?
Of course. You be careful now, both of you.
Oh, and to chronicle your travels, he will accompany you.
Over
Come
here!
on, he wasn't there before.
Cricket's the name. Jiminy Cricket at your service.
Or
hope for
Jesper
your safe
Forkylling
return.
for all you Danish people.
Please, help the king.
You're coming too.
I love how humorous this game is. I mean, I don't mind humor,
Gosh, Jiminy,
like I've
your
said
world
before.
disappeared too.
A story that
It was
takes
terrible.
itself
We were
seriously.
scattered. And as far as I can see, I'm the only one who made it to this castle.
A story can take itself seriously, but I don't mind humor.
Oh, right. I gotcha. You mean while we're in other worlds, we can't let on where we're from, huh? We gotta protect the world border.
Order.
Right. World border. Oh, I guess we'll need new duds when we get there, huh?
Hello up there. Gotta get to lunch, too. I'm glad you're ready.
For some reason, they have no spoken dialogue. Gotta love this part as well. Ready for takeoff! And that classic goofy yell. And then the music continues. So Donald and Goofy are off to find this key. And here we have Sora at his room.
I just can't wait. Once we set sail, it'll be great.
I find it funny how all of his clothes on the floor are so plain.
A
And this...
Oh no! The raft!
Sora! Dinner's ready! Come on down! Sora?
Sora has a mom, confirmed. Yeah, no, but Sora's clothes and his room in general are so plain and boring, yet he is the only one in that room who has bright red colors.
Riku's boat! And Kairi's!
Oh wait, we've already met them once. But see, unlike the dream world, we can't actually damage these guys. They sure can damage us though. And again, this part was super dark in the original PlayStation version. I know I can't hurt them. I'm just doing it for dramatic effect.
Where's Kairi? I thought she was with you.
The door is open.
What?
The door is open, Sora. Now we can go to the outside world.
What are you talking about? We gotta find Kairi.
Kairi's coming with us. Once we step through, we might not be able to come back. We may never see our parents again. There's no turning back. But this may be our only chance. We can't let fear stop us. Afraid of the darkness.
Money shot.
Riku.
He knows that something's wrong with his friend. Almost swallowed by the darkness. But not quite. What's this? Keyblade. Keyblade. And who even says that? I don't think it's ever been confirmed. But now we can... Now we have the Keyblade that just magically appeared before us. So now we can hurt these creatures in the waking world as well. Max HP and learn Slapshot. I'm not sure if these guys respawn in infinitely, but let's just beat a couple more of them. Okay, they don't. So we were almost swallowed by the darkness, but then the weapon of light, the Keyblade, came to our rescue. I hate that I fell down from the platform, because again, for dramatic effect, I really wanted to pass the bridge, but never mind that now, I guess. That makes me so angry, I'm taking it out on all of you guys.
Come on! Come on!
What did it say? Secret place. How did I get to turn the camera around? seem out of it. And away she goes.
Whoa!
That's the rest of our island. And I've seen you before. Up and away!
Oh? Oh?
And that was our world.
Look! A star's going out!
Come on, let's hurry!
Yep, that was Sora's world disappearing there. Where are we now? Traverse Town.
Where's that key?
Hey, you know, maybe we ought to go find Leon. Oh, Donald, you know, I bet you that,
What do you know, you big polluter?
What do I know? Come on, Pluto!
I think it's good that Goofy is sometimes so thick-headed, otherwise he would never... I mean, I wouldn't take that crap from Donald. Who do we have here?
Oh. Huh? What a dream. Ah! This isn't a dream!
Oh, come on, yellow dogs aren't that rare, are they?
Oh, where am I? Oh, boy. Do you know where we are?
Not in Kansas, that's for sure.
Hey!
And someone stole the soundtrack. This is totally weird. I'm in another world. Or you could just be in another town. I keep seeing new faces today. An odd pair walked by just a little while ago. And who are you? Titus's cousin? Reused acid. Those candles burning over there were specially created by Moogles. Even if you snuff one out, it flickers back to life in no time. You'd probably need magic to put them all out. And that chest is locked by magic, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, will not open. I think we need either we need to activate the Trinity, or we need the arrow magic. This town is divided into 3 districts. This is the first district. That was the end of that sentence. Seeing all of this town will take some time, Kupo, especially for newcomers. Even if you can't go to certain areas now, you'll be able to go later. Can I leave? Nah. Would probably fall off the edge of the planet. And nothing here either. This would in Dream Drop distance be the road that leads to the new part of town where the World Ends With You kids live. Louis does an okay job as long as we keep an eye on him. I did all of the cleaning today. I dare you to find one speck of dust. Hey there, what do you want? What am I supposed to ask? Oh yeah, do you want to buy or sell? I usually clean, so I'm not used to dealing with customers. Is that the only thing he says? Okay. And that puts us down here. Hey there, how can I... Oh, it's only a kid. I'm not a kid, and the name's Sora. Okay, simmer down. So why the long face, Sora? You lost or something? No, well maybe. Where are we? Huh? Traverse Town. So Gramps, is this really another world? Don't call me Gramps, the name's Sid. Anyway, not sure what you're talking about, but this sure ain't your island. Guess I better start looking for Riku and Kairi. Well, good luck with whatever it is you're doing. If you ever run into trouble, you come to me. I'll look out for you. From what I understand, a big contrast to his personality in Final Fantasy VII. But a change I am not... a change I'm okay with. If you can't find your buddies, I'll take care of you. So what'll it be? Alright, that reminds me, I got a new ability. Slapshot. And conveniently I have 1 AP for it. Rapidly strike enemies ahead of you, occasionally deals critical damage. Yes, please? Attention customers, you can synthesize items like this one on our 2nd floor, Kupo. Wow, a crystal. Crystals, of course. Save here. That's 7, huh? There are traces of fire. You can actually read that. Menu, bottled drinks, dessert waffles, snacks, ice cream. What is it? Something. Hot dogs, baked potatoes and pizza. Sup? Prøv at kigge på opløsningen. Altså hvor rent billedet ser ud. Og den controller jeg bruger.
Okay.
Jeg ved godt,
jeg så også computeren.
Jeg ved godt, jeg kunne godt bare have givet dig et straight svar, men nej.
Ja, men jeg vil også lige fortælle dig, at jeg fik start fra arbejdet her til.
Ja.
Det var sådan med, kommer du på arbejde i morgen, vi savner dig? Og jeg var sådan med at vise et billede af det der jeg tog, og så sådan en mand, der var lukket. Så de sagde, at de havde faktisk åbnet her en mand i går. Så jeg havde en mand der, så jeg var bare sådan lidt. Okay, altså jeg var sådan lidt sådan kommer, og de kommer også tidligt, så kom prøver tidligt fri i morgen. Så vi også får også mere, fordi at det er her om sommeren, så er der ikke så meget at lave. Så, men nu så må jeg lige se på, hvad de siger. Jeg skal også her til mor, men hun er bare pisse. Jeg er selvfølgelig på grund af.
Hvad var det?
Fordi altså mit gæt er, fordi jeg skal jo også de 2 gamle damer ind. Og det kan være måske, at de har lukket den der, og så åbnet et andet lokale, men jeg er ikke sikker.
Men altså stadigvæk, altså. Du var ikke blevet ordentligt informeret.
Altså, de kunne lige så sagt, at vi er der stadig oppe på, i stedet for at vi måske rykket herover i siden. Et eller andet, der kunne vise mig med det på, at de var åbne, i stedet for bare en sort indgang.
Ja.
Altså, ja, det er selvfølgelig også tænkt mig lige, ting jeg også lige prøve at sige. Og så vil jeg sige, hvad som var okay, så ikke var inden gerne, så sådan, så jeg tror, hvis i stedet, der er stadig lukket ikke på plads, så vi er jo ikke på styr, og alt muligt. Altså.
You can find whatever items you need at the nephew's shop. This is the item workshop, Kubo. We are researching item synthesis and super weapon forging. Måske ikke alle spillene, men i hvert fald nogle af dem. Looks like it's locked. Jeg ved det ikke. Ja, det hører jeg. Yep. Excuse me. It's those creatures from the island. Good morning. Det er ligesom hvis du læser, den blev aldrig oversat til engelsk, og hvis den var, så var den måske blevet censureret lidt, men Project Zero mangaen, altså der får de virkelig også bare spillene til at ligne barnelege med. Altså der er det sådan noget med at der er en pige der hun sopper lidt i en pool, og så de her monster, de her spøgelseshænder, der rækker op af vandet og hiver hende ned, og så ser de hende aldrig igen. Og så er der en scene i en kirkegård, hvor de også møder nogle spøgelser, der bare er mega groteske. Doesn't look like he's here. Keep looking.
Det er min mange, jeg ikke prøvede mig om allerede. Altså, jeg prøvede at læse noget af dem, men jeg kunne simpelthen ikke. Det var en mange, der hed Human Farm, hvor det er basically en busse skolebørn eller teenager, som bliver transporteret til en anden verden, hvor ældrene smider dem i en farm. De er åbenbart så en menneskekød i delikatesse der. Og så er det jo sådan, at de får brugt til det, men der er sådan erotic violence og alt muligt. Og det var sådan lidt...
Det er jo ligesom... Uden jeg har læst det, så lyder det lidt ligesom starten på Goblin Slayer.
Ja, og frem til det slutning, fordi det kunne tænke, at det var der.
Where is he? Leon!
Altså, havde du tænkt dig at læse den, hvis det var?
Nej. Altså i det øjeblik, du sagde erotic violence, så var jeg sådan, yeah, how about no?
Ja, altså, det er jo en far.
Hvad har det med erotisk vold at gøre?
Det slutter med, at hvis ikke det var væk, så er det, hvor det management bliver slippet ud af det, hvor man så ser en ny bus, og så kører cirklen igen. Er det ikke rigtigt, at det er fra forsæt, eller hvad?
Er det en gammel serie? Er det en gammel serie, der?
Den er først lige blevet færdig for...
Hold it.
Bare stormer en række Europa, men hvis simpelthen i Donald pludselig kommer sådan, I don't see him, det er ikke lukket, og så overgår det, så sender bare en over der harvest, så bare bliver smadret igennem en storm, og sådan, så er det bare lige, det er galt, det er lukket for. Så man tænker så mange harvest, der i jagt, var ikke rigtig nogen, der bare sådan, hey, hvad er det?
Det er jo så også, altså... NPC'er, der bare du vil befolke området, så det ikke ser så tomt ud. Det var jo ikke en ting før Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ja, den anden ting er jo også, det der jo er flere mennesker, og Harvest er først begyndt at invadere den her verden. Jeg ved ikke, om det er noget, der har altid været, men det føles som, det er først noget nyt. Så der er der stadig rigtig mange mennesker. Først er der så bare været noget meget den er så der, altså andet. Fordi så vidt jeg forstår, at alle de der kostninger og ting, jeg føles som en så vidt jeg bare skal se, hvor den verden vil være efter visse scenarier. Jeg har lavet den der Book of Prophecy, så hvor jeg har givet det i fremtiden. Så jeg tror, jeg skal se videoer efter det, hvor lang tid efter at han kan nå til mere af verden. Ja, den verden er bare i starten af. Så vi se, hvad den næste verden måske endelig være. Og så må vi se køre en cirkel i alt evigt.
Vi ved jo heller ikke, altså, hvem han er, eller hvor han kommer fra, eller noget som helst.
Det må jeg ikke faktisk ja, hans øjne, som han har placeret på sin kigge, var jo lidt monsterligt.
Really? Ja, det kan jeg forstå. I morges?
Ja, hvad er det? Den kan
ja, nej, så har jeg nok ikke hørt det.
Vi hører om, at de der flyver skulle kæmpe i en installation, de kom med den her 10 dage efter. Hvor hvis han var i gang, så kom de lige op og blive tjekket, og åbenbart så ser det ud til at...
Kind of wobbly. Guess I can't climb it now.
Men kom til en gang, og jeg giver sig det var fordi nogen var lidt fornuftige. Der var et muligt flyvers navn, som var sat sig i et filter, så han skulle lige ud og lige rense det. Hvor han på en ting sagde, og så tænkte jeg, at det ikke sker igen, så kan jeg gøre op. Ja, okay. Så sætter man lige på en, men lige åbner nogen over og tager det af. Så det var derfor, at der ikke gik, og så der.
Jamen, vi havde jo også lidt mistænkt, at det var noget, den du.
Ja, men jeg var ikke helt sikker på, det var
ja. Men det er også, man vil jo helst ikke gøre et eller andet, hvor du vil, altså ligesom hvis du har et apparat, og du åbner det, så falder garantien væk. Også det. Dalmatian's house. Not here either. This could take a while.
Yeah, his could take a while, så de der ting ikke står i vejen.
I know. The 99 puppies were lost amid the chaos of their world's destruction. Find them in various worlds. Fetch quest!
Så jeg ved, at vi så i starten af spillet Din Verden vil forsvinde. Men hvor interessant ville det have været, hvis ikke de andre Disney-verdener bare krakker op som verdens undergang, så forsvinder i lys eller i mørke.
Måske en remake.
Ja, altså vi så jo igen mange med en flashback, hvor Final Fantasy-karakterens verden blev invaderet af Maleficent og selv som War-Time Children. Det var sådan lidt, det ville jeg gerne se. De kunne næsten have lavet til at sige med det.
Ja, hvor ser vi det?
Altså i mange hvor de fortæller om, at Maleficent invaderede deres verden. Og så ser man deres unge missioner, mens deres verden ligger i ruiner.
Ja.
Igen, det kunne være fedt til at sige, hvordan det reagerer. Altså, world building. I stedet for, at vi skal lige hoppe til en ny tidslinje.
Jamen altså, igen, i en remake er der mange ting, de ville kunne forbedre.
Ja, det var det kunne, og så kunne det også være lidt mere voldeligt. Altså, ikke noget med blod noget, men i hvert fald bare se, at det er de bruger af harpen, før de tager hjertet.
Ja.
Holy shit, det er opfylder det lige ud.
Come on! Come on!
Back.
Come on! Come on!
3rd district.
Come on! Come on!
Bit run down, but a loving hand in this place could actually be really nice. It's emblazoned with a stylized flame. Something tells me we need fire to open that. And a lovely sculpture of the Lady and the Tramp. Holy wire.
Come on! Come on!
Ooh, meditate speed. Looks like it's locked. Well, you have a giant key. Use it. And also for that other door, for that matter. It's supposed to be able to unlock any door or any lock.
Det er meget fedt. Hvis i stedet for at du skyder en stråle igennem, så bliver den faktisk så stor en match.
Come on!
Sure, why not?
Og så for eksempel med alle sine eventyrlænder.
I don't feel like fighting all of the small heartless this time. That was a one-time thing.
One-time thing.
Money! Yellow balls.
Ja, eller hjælp. Hvilket minder mig om, at jeg tror, at russerne vil se nogle bandløse spil, så de spilsæt, tror jeg, at de lægger mærke til det.
Yoink, thank you. Come on.
Og der kan ikke se måden at farve det gule og blå på og matchet på kontrasterne.
Hvad mener du?
De der bolde, der de ryddede, så er det altid gul på den ene side og blå på den anden side.
Er det ikke sølv på den ene side?
Blå.
Ja, blå, ja. Jo, nu kan jeg godt se det. Jeg har altid set sølv deroppe.
Come on!
Hey Peter. Hey Peter, plus censureret i Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ja, nu skulle jeg sige bare, når man tænker på, at de her bandlysene, alle der har noget med deres farver at gøre, det er en bukser eller andet.
And suddenly all people are gone in this area. And if you noticed, the last chest I opened contained a postcard, and earlier we saw a mailbox with its tongue out, and that's because we could feed that mailbox with postcards and get various rewards.
Come on!
We can still go in here. Sid, help me! Still haven't found him? Keep your chin up. Take another look around town. He doesn't seem too bothered about the predicament.
They'll come at you out of nowhere.
Who are you?
And they'll keep on coming at you. As long as you continue to wield the Keyblade. But why? Why would it choose a kid like you?
Hey! What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. Now, let's see that Keyblade.
What? There's no way you're getting this.
Alright. Then have it your way.
Look out, we have a badass here.
Come on! Here!
Now we can lose to this guy and the story will continue, but oh shit! Got
No
it.
way I can lose.
Now you're gonna...
Bonk.
Oh, you're slipping, Leon.
First time playing the game I lost against him.
I went easy on him. Looks like things are worse than we thought. A lot worse.
Meanwhile, in somewhere else. And this is also a Final Mix exclusive cutscene. Which is why there's no voice acting. I believe it was. Sora! Kyrie! Looks so goofy when they don't speak. Like...
It's already at the end of the game already.
Spoiler alert!
Gosh, there's
Gosh.
nobody here. Sure is spooky.
Actually, I'm not scared.
Excuse me, did the king send you?
And then their heads twist each their other way. I do like how the first game has this kind of
Wake up.
whimsical Disney humor.
You okay?
I guess.
Those creatures that attacked you are after the Keyblade. But it's your heart they really want. Because you wield the Keyblade.
I'm so glad that you're okay, Kyrie.
Kyrie? Who are you talking about? I'm the great ninja Yuffie.
I think you might have overdone it, Squall.
I do see the similarities.
That's Leon.
The Keyblade.
Yeah, we had to get it away from you to shake off those creatures. It turns out that's how they were tracking you.
It was the only way to conceal your heart from them. But it won't work for long. Still, hard to believe that you, of all people, are the chosen one. Well, I suppose beggars can't be choosers.
Why don't you start making sense? What's going on here?
Okay. You know there are
And he
many
didn't even
other
look
worlds
me in
out
the
there
eyes.
besides your castle in this town, right?
Yeah?
But they're supposed to be a secret.
They've been secret because they've never been connected. Until now. When the Heartless came, everything changed.
I like her personality so much better in Kingdom Hearts.
The ones who attacked you, you remember?
Those without hearts.
The darkness in people's hearts. That's what attracts them.
And there is darkness within every heart.
Hey, have you heard of someone named Ansem?
Ansem?
He was studying the Heartless. He recorded all of his findings in a very detailed report.
Gosh, can we see it?
Its pages are scattered everywhere.
Scattered?
Too many worlds.
Oh, then maybe the king went to find them.
Yes, those were my thoughts exactly.
We've got to find him quick.
Red! Trust me, Ninja Key!
That's right. The Keyblade.
So, this is the key.
Exactly.
The Heartless have great fear of the Keyblade. That's why they'll keep coming after you, no
Then
matter
wouldn't
what.
they stay away from me?
Well, I didn't ask for this.
The Keyblade chooses its master, and it chose you.
So, tough luck.
How did all this happen? I remember being in my room. Wait a minute! What happened to my home? My island? Riku! Kairi!
You know what? I really don't know.
Ja, guys.
Love his sassiness.
Altså, jeg tænker faktisk lige tænkt...
I imagine after that whole scene where Sora mistakes Yuffie for being Kairi, I imagine her being like, "Oh, so all short-haired girls look the same to you, huh?" What you were saying?
Two things. First, it could have been funny when you fought against Leon and you actually defeated him. Just like in Dark Souls game, if you defeat the first boss you are supposed to defeat, then you will get knocked out by something random like Yuffie, for example.
Well, it technically does get knocked out no matter if you win or lose.
And it's just funny, you can either choose to be knocked out by Yuffie or Leon. Another thing, the room Aerith is in, I think it's a reference to Final Fantasy VII where they're supposed to go into that brothel thing where that mafia dude is hiding.
Might be.
Because there's something Asian structure in it. It's kind of funny to think about.
I've heard that the Keyblade can open all sorts of locks, just not the ones for the third district and the fire door to Merlin's place. I mean, it's very selective about its powers. Give it a try the next time you find a treasure chest or door lock. I already found both a door and a treasure chest that the Keyblade can't unlock. Not impressed. Also, my shoes are clipping through yours. Think of this as an adventure. Hey, I'm too young. Get it?
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
No, you're not. You're a teen. But you thought about why the Heartless trying to attack him if they are afraid of it. I think it's just like when a villain hears about a prophecy that says they will be defeated by someone, they want to prevent it at all costs.
Yeah, might be.
They think, hey, He may be dangerous, but we have numbers. Let's get him before he becomes too powerful or something.
Sooner or later, the Heartless will find you. You best prepare yourself. Prepare myself?
Be
prepared to fight for your life. Are you ready? Are you ready? That's not the one I was going for, but
that's
where?
I think he's supposed to where? Well, to the battlefield.
This is Traverse Town.
Yes, but I think you're supposed to say, bitch, I've been fighting for my life since the moment I went to the island a second time. Third time.
Not yet. We need to move quickly. It's dangerous here. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this!
Nothing to do that there, guys. That was actually a funny song.
It was. So, how far? Hvor lang tid er der?
Halfway through, I think. By the way, it's funny, we sang that song and we talk about a dude who has a giant gun.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Yuffie, let's go join Aerith. She should be there by now with the other visitors. Leon!
Yuffie, go!
Yuffie!
Sora, let's go!
My window! My cabbages!
I'm not paying for that.
Not 2D. Nice.
I mean, with these graphics, how can you really tell the difference? Don't bother with the small fry. Find the leader. But Leon, experience!
Have you seen the difference between two of the soldiers? One of them are more... Okay, it was just
yeah, I noticed. It's because some of the Heartless are in another color because this is the final mix version, but until you pointed it out, I wasn't actually aware that... are you sure it had another color?
I think it's just because of the light thing, because one moment it was yellow, and then when it went into the snap dark, then the usual...
Because it could be really cool that some of them has the final mix color and some of them have their normal color.
By the way, not there, you can see there. That's it because of the light.
Ah, okay.
It kind of looked good.
It was a nice observation.
Another thing I thought about, they talk about the answer in different forms. Would it be nice if it was just like the those Resident Evil games, or others where there's supposed to be a report where you find out that he becomes more and more insane from the Heartless, and then becomes a bad guy. And then it could have been nicer if he had continued everything. Like Wesker coming back from the darkness, no matter how many times he beaten, or that his spirit lives on and comes back. Instead of the plot that we found out in the sequel. Taylor could have been an apprentice, and he was following his master's reason of completing the King Passport. He went his own way to create his own master plan.
Could be.
Then more interesting because they're the same person. And then he could have been maybe just like the soldiers are part of an artificially made partner. Then he could have been really fascinated, maybe some more powerful ones that actually look human. Like a mad scientist, for example.
These designs are rather peculiar.
I don't know what they were done with the Max, the apprentice, and then I don't know what they were doing with Stan on. Because maybe they could, so if he was secretly answer the question that he was started off as an old man, but then he took just like kind of like Orochimaru took made a youthful body so he could continue his research. Then maybe bring it either him back or something else. Maybe and then had ascended to something in some way. Then after his second or third defeat, they could close that act and start something new. Like, then you could mention something like a war and all that.
I'm just concentrating here.
Yeah, I'm kind of ranting right now, but it would have been more interesting than all that structure about both persons. Oh, if you kill both of them, they get revived.
Yeah, that was kinda bullshit.
Yeah, so I think answer is over sickness, the assistance, and there's also the answer old form before he took a youthful body, so
because again, and folks, I realize that this is these are kind of spoilers for the later games, but out of context you wouldn't get it anyway. But you know, that's. You know, there are games that are 30 years old that people have.
I'm just thinking Game Pass is supposed to be popular.
But even the most popular game, you know, there are always someone who hasn't played it. But defeating one's Heartless and Nobody, and then their original self comes back to life. That essentially makes people immortal. I mean, you die, you become a Nobody and a Heartless. Someone beats your Nobody and your Heartless, you come back to life. It's a never-ending cycle.
Unless it only counts if you get killed by a Heartless, like a werewolf.
Gosh, are these the Heartless guys?
Let's go get them!
What was that light even?
I think it was supposed to be when you smash someone in there, pow!
The key!
The key!
Then where's my car?
Oh, Rico has that one. In later games. I mean, do you really... Huh?
Yeah, that transaction was kind of bullshit.
What transaction?
And we saw the company, they were supposed to be
But yeah, do you realize how many have made fun of the fact that Riku has a car key in later games?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Well, you were probably fucked yourself.
Well, I have been fighting everything on my way. And here we have the... I was about to say the first boss, but technically we already fought Darkseid on Destiny Island, so the second boss. And this guy, he also has a very different color compared to the original game, in that he even has colors at all, because his original color, quote-unquote, was gray and purple and nothing else. Many of the recolors in the final mix version, honestly, I really don't like at all, because I thought this guy was more menacing when he was purple and gray, and I'm about to die here. I really have to. I have to remind myself that I'm not playing Kingdom Hearts 3, where I can just relentlessly push the X button. I have to be playing more defensively and strategic in this game, especially when I'm at this level where I haven't learned any abilities yet. When I'm a weakling, exactly. Well, I am a weakling. I'm almost naked in this game, compared to how badass I am in later games. Exactly. I mean, he has the combat experience he had from fighting the other kids at the island, but he isn't exactly trained in fighting monsters. Playing pretend, they knock each other in the head with wooden swords. Defend up and learn to serve. Hey, if my best friend knocked me in the head with a wooden sword, you can bet your ass he wouldn't be my best friend anymore.
Yeah, but kids can be violent, but they don't kill each other.
Release the heart. Release me.
He just released.
Release my heart. Obtained brave warrior.
It's just me. Was that more soup in?
I was about to say the same thing.
You were looking for me?
Also,
they too have been seeking the wielder of the Keyblade.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other worlds on our vessel.
I wonder if I could find Riku and Kairi.
Of course.
Are you sure?
Who knows? But we need them to come with us to help us find the king.
What a dick.
Sora,
he is.
Go with them. Especially if you want to find your friends.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand?
Oh.
No frowning, no sad face, okay?
Yeah, you gotta look funny, like us.
Whisper runs on happy faces.
Well, then I could never ride it.
I like not, bro.
And now your favorite scene? Am I wrong? I remember you making a big fuss out of that scene when you told me about the game.
Another thing
name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
Is it just me or is...
And the holy trio is complete.
It's just me or is Sora's hair kind of dried out?
That little squirt took down that Heartless. Who'd have thought it? Such is the power of the Keyblade. The child's strength is not his own.
Why don't we turn him into a Heartless? That'll settle things quick enough.
And the brat's friends are the king's lackeys. Swung on the eyes, they're all built rats by the look of them.
You're no prize yourself.
Shut up!
Enough! The Keyblade has chosen him. Will it be he who conquers the darkness? Or will the darkness swallow him? Either way, he could be quite useful.
Another thing I remember from the original game, when I was playing and watching it as a kid, there was a time when after you made it through one of the worlds, then when you go back to the cutscene with the villains, then it would either be Alice or Snow White that will appear as the next prince that have been taken.
Well, that I don't remember what the stipulations are for which of the princesses appears, but I don't know if it's something about if you go to Wonderland or Deep Jungle first, or spoiler alert about the worlds, or if it's something else. But there is something you can do to change if it's one or the other.
That was the only thing I found weird, because it's the only time we see it. It would be more interesting that the longer you get in, the more princes you see are getting caught.
Well, to be fair, we of all the princesses we see in the game, you know, later in the game, we don't actually see any of them get captured.
Except for technically two.
Yeah, I guess.
And the funny thing is, Ariel isn't even caught. Well,
Make sure you're prepared for the journey ahead of you. We don't know how far the Heartless have spread. Check out the shops here. They've got some pretty neat stuff. Nah, I'm too stingy. Besides, all I need, like potions and other stuff, I usually get from Heartless.
the tutorials rod.
They are.
Yeah,
This
kind of know everything.
This is from all of us.
From all of us to all of you, here's to take our money.
50 Mooney. Spend it as you see fit. Okay, so not at all. And this is from Leon.
And we're ready to real become money.
Good luck. I hope you find your friends. Look out for each other. Hey, Leon, I'm down here.
Yeah, Sora, my eyes are up here.
Hey, he's the one talking to me. He should be looking down at me. I'm sorry, I can't move my neck. Graphical limitations.
It looks like he has a crown on him.
Yeah, actually.
He's a king, and it could be plot twist. Leon was actually disguised. Was actually Mickey Mouse in disguise.
Keep your spirits up.
I think
the gummy ship is outside that gate.
Like that's
You can teleport to the gummy ship from save points.
But sometimes there was a port on the other side or something.
Nice.
That was actually interesting.
Could have been nice to see. Open the save menu and select gummy ship. I mean, also because that this is the only world where you walk out of a gate to in order to travel to the other worlds. Every other world, it's it's via save points.
What about the Colosseum?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Not all save points let you board the gummy ship. The what? That's our ship. Wait till you see it. Ain't nothing special.
But what are you shipping?
Hold on. Sora, this is for you. Attain the power of fire. Learn magic spell fire. Select magic to cast spells. To cast quickly, assign spells to shortcut buttons in the customized menu. Casting spells consumes MP, using ethers or striking enemies replenishes MP. And that's another thing I love about this game, and I understand why they changed it in subsequent games with you have a magic bar and Cure is the only spell that drains all of it at once, and then you have to wait for it to get replenished. In this game, Cure is like any other spell that you have, like you have seen. I have 2 magic points right now, and Cure is like any other spell. It doesn't drain all of it at once. It drains like 1 or 2 or whatever, and that means that the more MP points you have, the more you can actually. You can essentially spam Cure, and maybe that makes the game easier the more MP you get, of course. But I mean, I like that you can spam it, and you can still lose if you don't use it wisely. So
Like you use it too much.
yeah, so I think I get why they changed, but I like how it is here. Now you can use magic too. Goofy, give him that other thing. The thing, the thing, the thing, the thing. What?
You know the thing!
You know the thing. Oh yeah. Sora learns dodge roll. Thank you, Goofy! Activate abilities by equipping them. No shit! Some abilities are used by pressing square, like your precious dodge roll. Others work automatically.
Like your precious dodge roll.
No, that's not automatic.
Okay.
Equip them in the abilities menu. Activating them requires AP. Abilities allow you to do all sorts of things. Guess we should look for them along the way, huh? Okay, is that it? Let's get going. Oh, you ungrateful little shit.
By the way,
Not till we are ready.
Yeah. By the way, bros, there's not that much left before it's
I know. I'm preparing to shut off. What?
I'm just for it was actually a good point to stop the game after this world.
I was just about to say that. Well, I see big adventures coming their way. Looks like it's up to me to keep track of it all in my journal. So I am tempted to go check out that fire door right now, but like I was just told that dinner is almost ready, so we are gonna post that postcard I was talking about before Leon so rudely assaulted us. Mailbox sent 10 postcards to... What did it say? To win something, good luck. Sometimes if I don't catch what the game said, I can look at my stream on my laptop that is slightly delayed and read what I didn't get to read before. Send first postcard, obtained cottage. Never gonna use it, never gonna use it, never gonna use it, never gonna use it. Oh, you can read it again now. Can I use any of these? Huh. Hey, look at this mark. I wonder what it is. This is a Trinity mark. They appear in many places, only the blue ones react in the beginning. Sora, Donald, and Goofy can perform various Trinity moves beside these marks. So let's see what it does. And whoopty, we are up here. What is this madness? And another postcard.
And this is friendship!
By the power of friendship. And we mailed our second postcard. Obtain a mithril shard.
Now, there's also what was the point with those postcards that we mailed rather than mailed? Because I never saw anyone actually use it.
Use what?
The whole mailbox thing.
Well, you do get something really good when you post all 10 of them, and you know, I don't use the cottage. What does that even do? I forget. Fully restores the party's HP and MP, can only be used from the menu. That's, you know, that's a good thing, but I'm one of those, again, I never use items. Like, I have used a couple of potions here in the beginning of the game, but trust me, as soon as I learn Cure, I am never gonna use items ever again.
I think actually you should I think in this game it's actually a good idea to learn take some items like Ether when you learn
I know,
MP
but
or potions in case you run out.
I know, and because this is the first game and you aren't as acrobatic and overpowered in this game as you are in the sequel, so you're right. In some instances, it is a good idea to use potions and ethers, but I'm just saying that under normal circumstances, I never do. Before we go, let's see. Sora got a new ability. Dodge roll, and I still only have 1 AP point, and all of these cost 1 AP, so boosts attack power when HP is critically low, combined with a weapon skill for more power. So I'm gonna let go of Slapshot for now and equip Dodge roll instead. Dive and roll to evade attack by pressing the square button while moving. Thank you! I can dodge roll again! Where have you been, my love?
Another world.
I can roll!
And I think I also thought, now I think about it, isn't actually a narrative in the sense that, I mean, there's a story. but it feels like the villains are just doing their things in the background while you are just exploring the world.
I mean, isn't it like that in all the other games as well? Sora is doing his own thing while the organization is planning shit behind his back, and
It's actually a funny thing. In both the first and the second, he's looking for someone.
Yeah, and in the third one, he keeps going around and not really accomplishing anything.
Because he's just supposed to be training.
Yeah.
Training.
There's a green one I can't use either. Okay, so like I said, dinner is ready. I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we are. I mean, I am not quite ready to leave Traverse Town yet. There are a few places I want to explore before we leave, but that's gonna be next time. We finished Destiny Islands. We finished the first half of Traverse Town, met Leon and stuff like that, and we beat our first, technically second boss, the big armor, as it's called. So I think this is a perfect place to end the second session.
We're supposed to name the Guardian.
The Guardian?
I think at least one Heartless has the name Guardian. Oh, of course, it could be the final Heartless I'm thinking about. Never mind. I think you actually are right.
Yeah, I think it is the big armor. So I'm gonna see who is streaming Kingdom, if I could spell right. Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna send you over to this guy, Ashtiff. So I'm gonna start the raid. I'll see you guys next time, probably tomorrow, because since I have been offline for almost a week, I kind of feel I have a lot to catch up on. So thank you all for watching, and remember, we are all heroes. Starting raid.
Wait, bro, sorry if I just talk over sometimes in your stream. Så det var... Altså, nu skulle jeg bare mærke nogle ting i spillet igen.